Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to forge ahead as we take a look at the latest wave of Transformers Legacy Evolution Voyagers by way of this guy. This is Nemesis Leo Prime. I am going to comment on the Dirge, but he is not going to get his own full review. You'll see why in a little bit. This guy, however, is going to be our main focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby! Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is the packaging for the Legacy Evolution Nemesis Leo Prime Lio Convoy. And there's a couple of interesting things here. One, and we'll clarify this when we head over to the table in a bit, but first thing to note is that this is a very unique release for the character of Nemesis Leo Prime, or if you prefer, Black Lio Convoy. And some people will say, isn't there an MP version? That MP version is Dark Amber Lio Convoy. It's a little bit of a mess around all of that, and it has to do with the shades of colors used. We'll talk about that in a bit. However, before we get into this guy, I want to do a caveat with this guy. This is the original 2-pack release of Dirge, and this was afforded to me by our good buddy Masterfire, and I can't thank him enough. Of course, we know that outside of the US especially Canada, I can't speak for some of the other countries, but Canada had none of the pre-orders filled. A lot of other nations had minimal pre-orders filled. There was a whole kerfuffle about the release of this 2-pack. Well, thankfully, in the Legacy Evolution line, we have now Dirge reissued, and we are eventually getting the Ramjet, as I think it should be. The only difference worth noting here relates to these wings. Now, in terms of the look, actually, in terms of articulation, both of them exactly the same. The weaknesses with this mold is no waist and no wrist. I think the Siege mold is better, personally. However, I do think that the Earthrise one works best for the cone heads, because the Earthrise one, despite those articulation limitations, is better than the old Deluxe Class Classics offerings. Plus, they're in line with the size now of other Seekers. In terms of transformation, it's an okay transformation. Again, I think that this mold works better for the cone heads because we do have differences in how the wings are handled, with them being down on the legs and whatnot, rather than your traditional big Seeker wings up behind the shoulders, though there are little ones up here. It's a fine enough mold for, I think, a Dirge and a Ramjet. The only difference between this one and the new Legacy one is that where this one has, I think it's black plastic for the wings here and here that are painted in this beigey color, the new Legacy one, instead of doing that, they have these wings and these wings cast in the beigeish plastic, which is probably better, because I do have a concern about scraping paint. Though the paint looks nice, I do have a concern about scraping it. I've also heard of people that got this version and these two wings were two different shades of paint. Luckily mine wasn't. I think just using the correct color plastic was probably the way to go. If you did get the original 2-pack, do you need the double dip? No, I don't think so. If you didn't get it, should you get it? Yeah, absolutely. In my neck of the woods, there are a few of them kicking around. I'm not doing a full review unless I can get a loan of it, maybe from a friend or something, because I wouldn't feel right double dipping and grabbing one of the still somewhat minimal versions of Dirge that are around, when I know I already have one, and I know so many other collectors don't, and they want one. So now I'm seeing them pick up their Dirge and saying, finally, I'm so happy to have this, and I can't wait for them to get Ramjet. While I think the Earthrise Seeker mold overall is weaker than the Siege, I do think that it works best for the cone heads and is definitely better than the old Deluxe class from like Classics Universe line. there you go. That's kind of my mini review for this guy. Not the focus, however, herein, because the focus herein is this guy and everything to do with him. Now, we have looked at the transformation going from robot to line mode when we looked at the original Leo Prime from the Legacy Evolution line. Now we're going to see the transformation going from line back to robot. So without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And yes, indeed, we kind of move into wave, depends on what you're looking at it as. It's either wave 6 of Legacy Voyagers with this guy and Dirge, or it's wave 2 of Evolution Voyagers with this guy and the repack of Earthrise Dirge. I won't be reviewing the Earthrise Dirge because I have the Earthrise version, which I looked at a long time ago, and I'm going to put a link to the review of Dirge and Ramjet, which I looked at about 2 years ago in episode 865. For the record, the only difference between the 2-pack Dirge and the new Legacy Evolution Dirge is that the 2-pack had, I think, a base color of black for the wings, and it was painted like the beigey color that his wings are, as where the Legacy one has the wings molded in a beige plastic. So I guess to the Legacy Evolution's credit, you don't have to worry about paint scraping, right? Other than that, my thoughts would be exactly the same. So if you want to know what I think about Dirge, go back and watch that 2-pack review. Big shout out to Masterfire who hooked me up with that 2-pack originally. But I did not have, and certainly did want, this version of Nemesis Leo Prime, or if you prefer, Black Lio Convoy, which is admittedly a little bit of a different take. We'll get into the character in just a little bit. Then, of course, let's not forget that there's the dark amber Lio Prime, or Lio Convoy, I mean, which is basically what the MP version is based off of. But there's something unique about this one that no other versions of Nemesis Leo Prime or Lio Convoy or whatever have done. Again, we'll talk about that in a few minutes when we get into the guy, but before we can get to him himself, we have to look at the packaging first. And we have very nice Legacy Evolution packaging. Nemesis Leo Prime over here, you can see him in his black, gray tiger mode with a black mane. Looks very much like Scar from The Lion King with this sort of mane on him. Not the color, but the mane for sure. Over here we can see the look of him in robot mode, looking very, very nice. Our usual artwork over here, and on the back, yeah, you guessed it, we have you know, his product images and his Evo Fusion stuff and all of that junk. By the way, the Dirge doesn't have anything identified as Evo Fusion, I guess because he came out some time ago. And I do think releasing the Dirge, by the way, was the smart choice. So many people never got their pre-orders for that 2-pack filled. Yeah, it's great to see Dirge, and before too long, we should get Ramjet. I know he's in the pipeline. Hang tight if you're waiting on him. But that's it for the packaging for Nemesis Leo Prime. Oh, we've got ourselves a pretty nifty set of instructions. They certainly fill the bill if you don't know how to transform this guy from the earlier regular colored Lio Convoy or Leo Prime. These do a respectable job. Now you might notice that we're starting out with both Nemesis Leo Prime and Leo Prime in their lion mode, largely because we've already seen the transformation the way that these guys come in package from robot to lion. That was covered in episode 1045 when I looked at this guy. Now we're going to see the transformation going in reverse, going from lion to robot once again. By the way, I put pupils on this guy, and I even put a white dot for when light is sort of shimmering off of his eye as well. I thought about doing the black around the eye, but then I thought that might be a little too much. But yeah, I'm happy. The guy now has pupils, and it didn't bother me so much until this guy came along, and he had pupils already colored on him. Again, black with the white right in the very center. I guess the light shining off his eyes, same sort of thing I did here. But once I saw the pupils on this guy, I said, man, I can't leave just his yellow pupilless orbs there. I gotta do something with it. So that's what I did, and I'm pretty darn happy with how it turned out. They look great together. Now, in terms of fiction, it's worth kind of noting a couple of things here. The very first thing worth noting is that this is the first time that we've actually gotten, and I can take him out of it, this is the first time that we've actually gotten the correct coloration for Black Lio Convoy or Nemesis Leo Prime, if you will. In the animation for Beast Wars 2, in Lion mode, his body and his head is kind of this gray color with the teal on his claws, and his mane is all black. However, the original release back in 1998 reversed those colors where the body was more black and his mane was sort of a silvery gray. Fast forward from 1998 to Robot Masters in 2006, and same thing, a black body with kind of a silver gray mane. Fast forward from there all the way to MP, Masterpiece. Interestingly, the Masterpiece repaint is not called Black Lio Convoy. It's actually called Dark Amber Leo Prime. And in the, I guess the little like Legends comics that they do in Japan, it is noted that that coloration, that kind of reverse color scheme of this with the grayish, silverish mane and the black body, in other words, Dark Amber Leo Prime is actually a completely different character from Black Lio Convoy. Two completely different characters with sort of reversed colorations. So very, very interesting and worth noting that, yeah, that Takara did that. The Legacy version is the first one to get the kind of lion coloration correct. And based on this, compared to the lion coloration, so far, he's getting a 10 for his animation accuracy. We'll talk more about that for a final score in robot mode, but right now, really, really quite impressive, right down to the way his pupils are done. Looks like the animation, right? So yeah, I'm pretty darn happy about that. As for the character himself, Black Lio Convoy was made using the ancient copy machine that was created by humans and left in the past by Starscream. It had been used like to make a mountain and stuff. Anyway, it ends up getting used on Gaia, which, spoiler, Gaia is Earth way in the future, and the ancient civilization that like left the copy machine there is us now, humans, right now. So really because of our technological advancement, this guy gets created. He is just like Lio Convoy. He is equal to him in every way except for one. He has no humility. There's nothing humble about this guy. He is as arrogant as they come. So much so that he sees himself as the real, true Lio Convoy. And you know what? He should replace the other one. And in fact, he should use the copy machine to copy all of the Maximals and get rid of all of the Maximals and replace them with superior versions. Kind of a bad dude, right? Kind of a bad dude. He's also sometimes known as Copy Convoy or Convoy Black version, or of course Nemesis Leo Prime. Okay, in this mode, the articulation is exactly the same. We have kind of a knee here, but because it tabs in up here, you can't really move those legs out. These are his back legs, so they kind of retain all of the motion of the knee and whatnot, and even the ankle tilt. So you've got all of that in the back. You may notice these are off. His mane here is sort of off a little bit. Oh, his tail, I guess, can also move a bit. That's because these can flip forward. I have two blasters put in here. They're the only, I can't say they're the only. They're just like the blasters that come with Lio Prime, the original kind of Lio Prime. I'm also going to note that his mane up here has two more blasters in it. These didn't actually come with the original, but when you take them out and you put them together like this, they really do basically give you a version of Lio Convoy's blaster, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of people kind of thought, hey, maybe this should have been included. Actually, I think I put it in the wrong way. I think it's supposed to be this way. I'm just going to show this up close. This is the only new accessory that comes with the guy. Molded nicely, not a lick of paint. And you can see it there. Like I said, molded nicely, just no paint. Okay, let's get into the transformation, I guess. By the way, I love the way that the plastic shimmers here. Very, very nice choice. Okay, so I'm going to pick these off first, and I'm going to fold these up first, just so I got them out of the way. I'm also going to pick up the front here. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it, but the mouth still opens and closes as well. I'm going to pick that up there, and really all of this sort of kind of picks off so that we can sort of kind of loosen up the arms. And we pull the arms out, and that splits a chest section right here. So I'm going to have all of that apart. Down here, we kind of pick all of this off, and we fold in a tail. So we got all of that off now. Now we're going to deal with the legs next. So for the legs, we come here and we rotate that around. We come here and we rotate that around. We rotate the whole leg around. We rotate the whole leg around. And we make sure that, yeah, we've got it all pushed forward, or pushed back, I mean, the way it should be. That's his lower legs done. I can even straighten those out. Now, getting this here kind of, these arms are kind of out of the way a bit. Like that. We should be able to take the entire armature here and leave this section and rotate this one, right? Which way do I rotate it? This way. I'm not going to bring it out over his shoulders just yet, because we got to deal with this, bring it down, bring out the head, turn this around, put it up. Great, wonderful. Now we can bring the sides of the chest down, and we can even begin to fold these in. This side goes in first, this side goes in over. Simple as that. By the way, you'll notice that the chest here is open. This piece, to show his like dark matrix, I guess, is a lot easier on this version than it is on the Leo Prime version, the regular Leo Prime version. Now that we've got that done, we can turn the arms and bring them down. Bring the mane up on the shoulder. Bring out a hand and kind of put this paw to the back of the arm. Over here, to do the same thing, we bring an arm down. We rotate it around so the elbow is facing forward. We bring up a hand and we make sure that this piece is now on the back. By the way, if you want to do the Evo Fusion thing, you can open out the paw and bring out the claw on the back of his hand, like that. I'll leave it for now. Then we just take the backpack, which has the other two blasters he comes with pegged in it, by the way, and bring that up over the shoulder, and bring that up over the shoulder, and really boom, in the end, here we have Lio Convoy in his robot mode. I was slightly premature with that boom. I forgot two minor steps. One, turn that around, and two, bring out the, if I can get it, the heel spurs. Should have brought those out. Two minor things, though the heel spurs tremendously help him to stand great. Here he is holding his blaster. Pretty great. Over here, the Evo Fusion part is out, so you can fold that up, bring this around. Oh, sorry, turn this around and then bring it back up on the arm behind. Thusly, I have two of the blasters put up here. I have the handheld one in his hand. And yeah, this guy looks tremendously like the animation model. And I mean tremendously. Starting from the bottom and working our way up. Yes, he should have the blue on his claws. The black knees, the gray legs and thighs, the bit of blue on his pelvis is as it should be. The gray and black on his like main body is really the way that it should be, including the bit of silver here in the center. And even the Maxima logo over here. Why is it a Maxima logo, not like a Predacon logo? Because he's a copy of Lio Convoy. He is, in his mind, still a Maximal. The head looks correct. The eyes look correct. The black mane and the head over here correct. Same on the other side. All correct. I said it was a 10 in line mode. His look is still a 10 in robot mode. The transformation, I think, is brilliant. I think it's wonderful. This guy, unlike Lio Convoy, this guy, instead of being 128 grams of plastic, clocked in at 131 grams of plastic. I assume his blaster made the difference, maybe a little bit of the paint. So that it's still a little bit smaller than what I would like for a Voyager, but it's definitely made up for in terms of a ton of paint apps on this guy. I know he looks somewhat almost monochromatic, but there's a surprising amount of paint on this guy and it works to nice effect. So yeah, look 10, transformation 10. What about the articulation for the guy? We have a head that goes left and right. It can look down a bit. Not really much in the way of looking up. You would think that this piece and this piece here would be very cumbersome to the arms, but arm, like really, because this can get out of the way and even bring up that mane, can go all the way out to the side, it can go all the way forward, it can go like well back, bicep swivel, 90-degree elbow, no wrist. That's the one bummer there, no wrist, but really this does nothing. I mean, even if you wanted it to angle back so he could put his arm straight out, like not a problem. Over here, same sort of thing, it can get up out of the way, forward, back, out to the side, elbow. Can his arm go all the way around? Not really because of the kibble, but if you want to get his arm all the way around, you could probably finagle it somehow, some way. There is a nice clear waist, leg forward all the way, back all the way. We do splits all the way out to the side. Knee to, for sure, 90 degrees. Because there's 2 hinges there, you might even be able to get a little bit more. Swivel, if I didn't say it, ankle tilt, and the heel spur can also move, which gives like toe and heel movement as well. About the only thing that I could want for the guy would be wrist. Other than that, he has everything I could want with a wide range of motion. Honestly, I'm going to give the transformation a solid 9.75. The guy overall is about a 9.9. I thought that the like original Lio Convoy was tremendous. It is the version of the character I think I've always waited for like in the main line. Same goes here. In fact, you see, for a guy who collects, kind of primes down through the lineage from G1 through Beast Wars, I mean, this guy was one that I was gonna have to have. And if I got him, then I really want him. I very much have looked a long time for just the right like Lio Convoy for me. The MP, that's not my bag. I'm just not an MP guy. Then we had the original. I feared GPS, thought it was too big. Then we had, say, the Titan's Return one. Almost got that, but I knew the robot was way off. This is about as hyper animation accurate as I could want for both a proper version of Lio Convoy and for the mirror version. But you know what? As much as I love my primes, I also love true Nemesis Prime, if you will. And like, I love Nemesis Prime. I love Nemesis Optimus Primal. And I love Nemesis Leo Prime or Lio Convoy or Black Lio Convoy or whatever you want to call him. I understand that Lio Convoy and Black Lio Convoy won't be everyone's cup of tea. If you're not invested in Beast Wars, if you're not invested in Beast Wars 2, I understand why they might be one that you would skip. But the mold is fun, it's fantastic, it's functional, it looks good, it has presence, it is a smooth transformation, though involved, and once you get it in robot mode especially, you can get some great looking dynamic poses because of the wonderful sculpt and the wonderful paint. Leo Prime, Black Lio Prime, Nemesis Leo Prime, whatever you want to call him, is absolutely, positively fantastic with a 10, a 10, a 9.75 for an overall score of about 9.9. Almost perfect. And here we are once again. Here he is. Actually, here they are. Just a very quick note about this guy. I think that doing the pupils was the right course of action, other than just leaving his like yellow orbs there. They look very out of place when you compare it to this head sculpt, which does have, for the line, which does have pupils, right? So they put a little more paint apps into the head of the line here. So yeah, I'm glad that this guy now has pupils. However, this look is stupendous. It looks like the Beast Wars 2 animation for Copy Convoy or Black Lio Convoy, the guy who wanted to basically replace that Lio Convoy. And isn't it interesting to note that apparently Dark Amber Lio Convoy is a different character, where he's mostly black with the mane being now gray. very reverse of this. This is the most animation accurate version of Lio Convoy or Copy Convoy that we've ever gotten. It just so happens he's stupendous. Plus, if you're like me and you like, you know, the Nemesis Optimus Primal and you like the Nemesis Prime, how could you not add this guy to it? Here's the thing. I firmly believe that a lot of people are going to overlook the Leo Prime and the Nemesis Leo Prime because they'll say, I don't know this version of Optimus. They'll make that mistake first and not realize that it's a descendant. But more than that, I think a lot of them will say, I'm not really into Beast Wars second. And I think they're going to overlook it, which is a shame because I'm telling you now, the articulation is pretty fantastic and you're able to score excellent poses with both. They have tremendous presence on the shelf. They stand out, they look unique, and they look like they have a premium finish to them. But most importantly, the transformation is fun. There's enough working, moving parts here that this is really interesting. The way the whole chest unfurls and flips up around and goes back together. The way both of these sections come off the shoulders and flip all the way around. And the way that the whole torso comes out when the head goes down to turn around to become the belly of the beast, if you will. Tremendous, tremendous mold. I love it as the original colors, and I love it as these colors. Let me know what you think about Nemesis Leo Convoy, or Leo Prime Lio Convoy, or the original. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Of course, I think that this one and that one are tremendous. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, please hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. Especially don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, right here, inside the videos.